This is section 13.3, poverty. The poverty threshold. Poverty is a poor family is one whose total income is less than the amount required to satisfy the family's minimum needs. So if you're considered poor if you aren't earning, like the whole household isn't earning above the threshold line. The poverty line varies with the size of a family. As you see here, the U.S. poverty threshold, one-person household is about 12,488, two-person households, 15,877, three, so on and so forth. If the family's total income is below the line, the whole family is considered poor. So like if a whole family is working and they still don't earn up to the poverty threshold, then everybody in that household is considered poor. Poverty rate, the percentage of people who live in the household with income below the official poverty threshold. Poverty rates differ among groups of people. It's like working classes, and you can see how it's decreasing slowly but surely. Poverty rates differ among groups of people like race and ethnic origin, type of family, age, and residence. Causes of poverty, shifts in family structure, so like if people divorce or people move out of the house, that person moves out of the house that makes the most money could lessen the family's income. The location of it, the racial and gender discrimination, growth of low-skilled service jobs, and lack of education. And this is the poverty cycle over here. So like if you have your family can't really afford schooling for a child, then they would just get poor working lessons, and then the child has few expectations. The child goes through life with low self-esteem. The child fails out of school, poor discipline, poor attendance, poor results, enters adult life with no job or on a low pay. Shifts in family structure and location. Single parent families have more of a struggle providing for a child or children than a two-parent family. Because a two-parent family, you have two incomes from people, and from a single parent, you just have one income. And usually, if you're a single mom, you'll still earn less than a single dad would. Divorce rates have gone up every year since the 1960s. That's very true. A lot of people are still getting divorced, but that's not good. Inner cities have way more high-paying jobs in suburb areas. A counter to this is that people in the inner cities have to pay for mass transit fees and higher costs of living. And because most of them don't have cars like people in the suburb area, and most don't have cars like people in suburb areas. It's like if you go to big cities, you'll see a lot of suburb areas. That's because people like living there. So then they would just travel to the cities for their jobs because they don't want to pay as much as it would cost to live in a city, and they don't want to pay for mass transit. Racial and gender discrimination. Whites usually earn more than anyone else, and men usually earn more than women. This is determined usually by hours worked, education, and working experience. If they have the same education, whites and men usually still get picked. Discrimination is slowly diminishing. That's really true, because a lot of women get paid less than men, even if they have the same education or working or hours worked and experience. But it's slowly going down. It's slowly evening out. Growth of low-skilled service jobs and lack of education. In the past, less educated people could earn high-paying jobs in manufacturing. Like in the 1900s, manufacturing was huge for like vehicles and stuff. But today, as you see, there's a bunch of robots now doing most of the manufacturing jobs, and there's just a couple of people supervising all the robots and make sure they do everything correct. Globalization, the decline in manufacturing, and the rise of service economy led to decline in numbers of higher paying manufacturing jobs. So like we're getting to a service age where like phones and computers and just a bunch of things are becoming a thing, and those are what most people are using now. High school graduates earn about two-thirds more than a high school dropout, and college graduates earn more than 3 times as much as high school dropout. So definitely stay in school, don't drop out.
Public service.
Yeah. You're more likely to get paid higher the better degree you have. Income gap, the wealthiest fifth of American households earn more income than the 50.5% of it, or that's 50.5% that the bottom four fifths combined. So like, yeah, the wealthiest fifth of Americans earn more than the bottom 4/5, which is kind of sad, but these wealthy people could get wealthy, but the wealthy people could get wealthy by inheritance or their field of work. So like usually wealthy people, after they die, they have their children inherit that money, which if they're wealthy, their children are going to be wealthy, and that money is just going to keep being inherited by generations of people until it's all gone. Or if those people keep working and have a good career, then they would just keep going. The money. Anti-poverty policies. Government spends billions of dollars on programs designed to reduce poverty. It's like there's, they spend it on cash assistance, education, medical benefits, and non-cash benefits such as food stamps and subsidized housing. A lot of people get super mad about these because they're like, it's people's taxes that are paying for some of these things, and like there's people that are poor that work, which the people don't care that they work. They're trying to trying to create a living for themselves, but there's some poor people that just collect these things that don't really work or don't have an education or anything to get work.